CREWCast. 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 Give it up for the CREWCast!
Whee! Wow! 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 I've had that in my head all day, from Reels. There's that thing that goes, wow! 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 No. It's like a baby's voice.
No, I don't know.
And he's just like flashing up images of, quick videos of like something pretty, like a motorbike or it's usually a puppy actually, or a kitten going,
No, I have no idea what you're on about. What's that? Instagram Reels?
Yeah. It's probably TikTok as well.
Fuck knows.
Yeah.
Try and spend
Oh my
as
God, I
much
just
time
realised
off it as
I
I
have
can.
not done anything. My hair's a state. I think I've brushed my beard this morning. That's my lot. And I'm just here. Well, this is me in my natural habitat. Just, yeah.
Vegetable
Look at
X.
that. Wow. That is hair.
It is hair.
That is hair.
That's very accurate, it's
Fact,
hair.
today's been one of those days, man.
Yeah.
You think you got it planned. Started the day beautifully. Went to pick something up on the bike. Was out in the sunshine. Zooming around. Having the time of my day.
You got something on your head. It looks like you're a bit
What have I
dirt.
got?
It looks
Dirt
like
on my head
dirt.
as well. I don't even care anymore. This is a dirty. This is the reality.
Yeah.
Dirt on my head.
Like right there. It looks-
Might be bike oil.
What is that?
What is it?
I don't know.
Is it?
It's right there.
Is it not going?
No. Rub right across the middle of your forehead.
That feels weird.
It's still there. I don't know what it is.
Here, guide me to it.
That way a little.
Tetris. Yeah.
Up a little.
Yeah.
There, you're on it. It's gone a little bit. It's still a bit more there.
It needs a lick and a rub. That's what
I'm
it
so
is.
glad the audience is here to be part of you rubbing dirt off your own head.
With my own spit.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
All the glamour of podcasts, eh?
Wow. So we're recording this one early for you guys because I'm away this weekend in London with my protein. It's like a labs event, it's called.
Yeah, My Protein Labs.
Quite a cool idea. I think it's based around talks.
Yeah.
So there's
Seminars, basically.
Seminars, pretty much. Yeah, live audience, and everyone's there. There's like Matt Does Fitness is there. I'm there. Eddie Hall, a load of other like legit athletes and stuff that they've got on board.
So it's like a TED Talk, but for fitness.
A little bit. I think there's SAS guys there and stuff doing talks about what it takes to be an SAS dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's loads of people. Loads of cool things.
Are you nervous?
No,
No?
I'm just hosting part of it.
Yeah?
Yeah. And the rest of it's just chats.
Yeah.
I like the chats.
Yeah.
We're getting better at it with this as well.
Yeah, true. It is practice, isn't it? It's quite surprising. Like, going back, I don't know whether I think you saw it. I posted a screenshot of like the first podcast or the second one that we did.
Yeah, I remember.
And then compared to like one that we did the other day, just like the visuals, but also the audio quality, and also just us being able to like flow through chats so much easier. It's like night and day difference. It's been like a year of doing it like once a week, just over a year.
People don't do this.
Yeah.
People don't talk, sit and chat. And it's the method of being able to listen and fight that urge to like say something over the top.
Yeah, yeah, that is challenging sometimes, though, especially if you've got something that you wanna say. I think it's our ADHD brains that are just like,
I was about to say
idea is in our head, fire it out now.
Go now before we forget it. Go, go, go.
Yeah, because often I do forget stuff. The amount of times I've had something, I'm like, okay, save that for later.
Yeah.
It's lost forever.
It
No
was
one
like-
ever heard it.
The way our brains work, Matt, and we were talking today about, because as you came in, you rang me earlier, like, are you still good for tonight? I'm like, yeah, I'm just getting the thumbnail done. You rang me at 5, and I said, yeah, I'm getting the thumbnail done.
Yeah.
You arrived at 7,
Yeah.
and I was in a mild sweaty fluster
Yeah.
because the thumbnail was still not done for my video, which I had planned for like 2 days. I've been editing this motherfucker since like Saturday. And just one of those things where because I didn't have a thumbnail deliberately taken a picture of on the day, it fucked this day up. So then we were talking about how you need these protocols set in place for brains like ours, where when we're always on the fly doing things, we're great, but the structure of getting every little bit done, sometimes those little things slip by, don't they?
Yeah, your issue was basically you'd done all the legwork but forgot seemingly a small thing, which is the thumbnail, but you can't post. Well, you could post your video without it, but it's not going to do well without a good thumbnail.
Thumbnail's like the key. The thumbnail is basically like the movie poster.
Yeah.
The movie trailer, really.
Yeah.
Because you don't get the trailer, so that's the thing that makes people go, oh, looks crazy.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that.
Need to click on that.
Yeah.
So I managed to get a good one though by the end of it.
Yeah,
but
you had about
2 hours of fluster, and by the time you got here, I'd gone through 5 other options.
Yeah.
I've got them on my phone there,
Yeah.
edited. So I'd got 5 and edited 5, and when you came in and it's always that way. Why is it always the last one where you get this like, bing? You never find that first. You never find the good one first.
The thing is, I remember Lee Evans did this on a stand-up when it was like when you're looking for your keys. And his wife was, he played his like wife, and she was just like, "Oh, it's always in the last place you look, isn't it?" I was like, "Of course, it's in the fucking last place you look. You're not going to find it and carry on looking, are you?"
Yeah, it's
true. There are my keys, and then you just carry on searching around.
But the image I found was legit the best of the ones I'd had.
Yeah.
And I'd already done the others. That's what I mean. It was like I'd already finished it, and then I was like, "Well, just check what else is in that possibility lane."
Yeah.
And then, oh fuck, there's that one. Oh.
Yeah, I think it gives you when you've got multiple options, then you've got like a canvas to compare them.
Yeah.
When you've just got a single option, you've got no comparison, so you just like, is that good? Is that bad?
Fair though, it's going through protocols. Like I would hit a picture, and I'd be like, "Okay, that'll do," and then I'll go to work on that rather than looking at the whole stream and looking at 3 or 4 possibilities. That's the difference. That is right. So it's my own lack of that.
Yeah, just procedures, mate. That's
hyperfocus. Scene 1, get it, do it.
Yeah, that's it. And like I'm talking to you like it's something that I'm perfect at, because I'm not at all. But it is something I do implement.
You're not better
as much
at putting
as possible.
structure in place, though.
It's only because Emma pesters me all the time to do it. Like,
that's it. Yeah, teammates.
Yeah, because she's super well organised, and she has to be because of the amount of tasks that she handles. So even though that she's good at that, she also sets up her environment to like help her do it, which is something that I was so resistant to at first, because I got on quite well just doing stuff on the fly. I actually thought I kind of told myself I was actually better without much planning, because I wouldn't like. I remember even back at school, whenever we had to do anything like practical, if I had to do like a presentation about whatever, I planned nothing. I literally just got up and just winged it every single time, and I always did really well. I did so much better at that. So then I kind of built up this idea that like I just work better under pressure, and by actually planning, I almost take away my own edge. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the story.
You're speaking my story.
That's
this is
the story
exactly what I say.
I put myself like I told myself that. But it's not really true. Like planning does not make you any worse. Like nobody ever has planned something and it's made them worse. Like,
nobody's thought, "Oh, we should have definitely done that randomly and disorganized."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would have definitely gone quicker.
The only thing that actually kind of seems to pan out on is our social media on our BCB page mainly. Like anything that I put effort into and think about. Sometimes it does okay. Yeah. The most random thing that just pops into our head always does great. Yeah. Like it's just on a fly, it just organically just pops, and we're just like, well, should we just do it now? We drop everything that we're doing, we just do that thing, and then it does really well.
Sometimes that's the best thing to do, though, because you have a great idea, and when you're in the zone and when you're in the mode, you'll nail it because you've got the exact idea you want, the exact like design in your mind. Whereas if you let it sit and percolate in there, and then you kind of it gets muted by all these other ideas that come in and a little bit hazy, you end up kind of faffing around trying to regain what your original thought was.
Yeah.
I've been doing that thing again around the house where, well, I was doing until there was just a massive overload of stuff came flooding in. 2-minute rule.
Yes, yeah, anything that is going to take less than 2 minutes, just do it.
Yeah, and do you know how many times I've walked away from something to have to walk back to pick it up or tied it away? Because I'd be like, we're walking off, and in my head, we're going, 2-minute rule. And my own guilt would send me back to go and do it.
To be fair, that's something I've been doing, and it's little things like going and putting the black bin in the black bin bag in the outside bin, because it's getting kind of full, and I'm just like, I should probably do it, but I'll do it later. And then I'm like, no, just do it now. Get it done. And there are so many, and it is actually quite handy. And little things like resetting the room when you leave a room.
That's a big one.
Yeah, just
putting
those
cushions back, so when you walk back in, you're like, fresh environment.
But then also, it doesn't, like, when the room starts to get messier, then you start to care a little bit less, so then you get a bit sloppier, then you leave like a plate out, and then before you know it, you've got
5 plates.
You've got to actually properly tidy, which might then take you half an hour. Whereas if you just spent the 30 seconds every time you got up and left, you'd never got in that state anyway.
And that's the whole thing about the organisation thing. So, and it leads us on to today's topic, which is going to be Training splits. What is the perfect training split? Because I've been getting this. I don't know why. It seems to be the question of the week. There's so many people have been asking, like, about being bored with training, not enjoying training anymore. Oh, just. And I always get. This is always the kind of, oh, you're struggling to get to training. You know, oh, I've got to get to training, and it's always a mood.
Yeah.
And we talked last week about. I'm pretty sure we talked about it. Was realizing, number one, this is the first thing you need to do is realize that training is a fucking gift. We start taking it for granted because we have to do it so often. And if you want the results, you have to be consistent with training, which means doing it often. But that also means you then start to take it for granted and then start seeing it as a chore. You need to not see training as a chore. You need to see it as your reprieve for the day. So whatever's going on, you need to be looking forward to, at least I get that break to get to go training.
Yeah.
You need to start rethinking of it that way.
Yeah, it's framing, isn't it? It's the same as anything.
Yeah.
How you choose to frame anything in your mind is going to dictate how it's going to feel to you. So, yeah, just things, I think we did mention it, saying like you don't have to train, you get to train.
Yeah.
And just the way it's framed makes a massive difference to how you approach it. And it is hard sometimes when you're stressed and you've got shit going on, and then you realise, I haven't trained today, and if I don't do it, I'll have like messed up my split for the week, and then I'll be playing catch up, and then you might be in the mindset of I've got to train.
Yeah.
Whereas you kind of, if you can kind of catch yourself in the moment, which is easier said than done, and then tell you like, but that's still a luxury. I'm fortunate that I've got, you know, an able body that's capable of training. I've got the luxury of a nice gym or a home gym, or if you go to a club or whatever else, whatever your form
Access
of training
to
is.
some form of activity.
And I get to do that, and that's going to help me feel better by the end of it. Because how many times does somebody finish a training session, bar somebody getting injured? How many times does somebody finish a training session going, I wish I didn't do that? No one.
You come out feeling like elevated. And I found that was a bad thing to have later on in the day, because if I go training in the evening, I'll feel great afterwards, but now there's nothing left in my day.
Yeah, you go get bed.
So going to bed. So I'm going to bed feeling great, but for the whole day I've been like, meh. Whereas I've been getting in earlier. Even if I miss the morning, I get in mid-afternoon. So I'm not getting the evening session in, which has really pissed me off about today, which is why I really set back. So I had my day planned out. Today I was going to get up, get the edit finished, which I did. Then, got going on finishing the edit. Then I had to go pick up a parcel. Then I was going to go and get back, finish the edit. Then before you came, I was going to go to the gym, then loop back in time to come and do the podcast. But because of the whole thumbnail debacle, I lost 3 hours of my day. Yeah. And that 3 hours was my reprieve to get to the gym. So then that's why I was, when you came in, flustered. Because in my head, I was like, well, I would have trained and done this. And I've got so used to it getting to the evening and me having everything kind of, my physical stuff done. It's almost been a bit weird. Like, I just get to chill. Yeah. Like, I can actually do that. So one thing I'd say is if you haven't already, start training earlier in the day, getting in the mornings if you can.
I know Lee mentioned that he's started getting the morning sessions in now.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he's getting on with it, but I believe personally, if you're able to do it, the training should be the first thing you do.
Yeah, because it's enjoyable.
Up, have a coffee, brush your teeth, get dressed, get out the door. Don't think about any other shit. Just get in and get it done like fairly quickly. Maybe if you want to do some meditation or some stretching or something like that, if you can be arsed. But I think training should be definitely one of the first things that you do. Know when, like, obviously I own a gym. Like, I know what it looks like at 6:30 in the morning when, you know, people turn up. There's not that many people there.
No.
We've got 10, 15 people in, compared to double, triple, quadruple that on the afternoon.
About 4 or 5.
And I don't know, I just feel like, I feel almost a little sad for those people that don't do that, because I know how fucking good it is and how different it is and how it sets up your day so much better.
Yeah.
You've already knocked out a really challenging task. You feel completely wakeful. Like, if you got up early, got your training done at the normal time that you might be getting up to go to work, you've already knocked out a massive challenging thing, and you're switched on, firing on all cylinders, ready to like go about your day, opposed to like bleary-eyed, kind of groggy, needing another coffee,
going low energy, wherever you're going, having to build it up,
and
doing something non-physical, really, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And also just the amount, how much energy are you really going to be able to put into your training session? Don't get me wrong, it's challenging to put energy into a training session at like 6:30 in the morning when you're new to it. Once you've done it a bit,
it literally takes a week.
Yeah, you get pretty used to it. And after if you've done like 1 or 2 or 3 fairly challenging sets, your body is pretty up and at them at that point because it has no choice.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go from your bed to the coffee cup to the sofa to your phone to then to a car, like there's at no point your body really having to do anything that's hard or challenging. So it just stays in this lull. So even if you can't go training in the morning, maybe you can't get there in time to get around, definitely do stretching in the morning. Definitely do some kind of yoga or meditation. So just get your body physically active and moving, because getting to the gym is the best one because the weights don't lie to you.
Yeah.
Like you pick up a 20, you know you can do normally, and it feels heavy. Like, oh shit, I gotta wake up. Like you have to start actively fucking, and then plus you're lifting and moving weights, so your body's got no choice but to be like, oh shit, we're working.
Yeah,
it's
adrenaline
got to get going. Adrenaline, yeah. We start getting those endorphin releases. Really, that's not English. We start releasing endorphins. We start to actually, get that adrenal rush. We start to create that vasodilation, the blood flow. Everything's getting switched on as a result of this activity and moving.
There's also quite a bit of information done on, obviously, when we train, there are large like releases of adrenaline which circulate in your system. They don't dissipate straight away.
Yeah.
Your initial rush, like the peak, obviously happens around the training and individual sets and whatnot, but then the actual, like, I don't know what the word is, but then there's like it drops off but then stays at quite a steady state and takes a very long time to taper down. When you train right before bed, you've got these like severely elevated, and I'm sure they're like nearly 20 times what they normally would be without training, especially resistance training. Like that spikes adrenaline very high comparatively to even other forms of exercise. So heavy resistance training,
I guess it's a bit like a fight.
Yeah, and so then you're then trying to go to sleep with like 20 times the adrenaline levels that you probably should have if you'd have trained first thing in the morning.
And that goes back to coming back feeling great and then wanting to be doing something. You know, but it's now 10, 11 o'clock at night and you're like, fuck, I gotta wind down.
Yeah, so that's it. You've effectively just given yourself a little kickstart, and that like little gentle bleed of adrenaline that's tapering throughout the day. Yeah, you're riding that nice wave, and at a point where you don't need to be aggressive while you're at work, but having a bit more energy is fucking useful, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then like it'll taper off towards the evening when, funnily enough, you should be going to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
So like it actually fits the circadian rhythm quite nicely, opposed to then actually giving you probably less restful sleep, because either you don't get to bed when you should because you come back and you're wired and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna prep food for the week because I've got loads of energy, and I'm just like, oh, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter though. I've got energy. I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
Forgetting about tomorrow that has to deal with like no sleep.
Who's then going to wake up tired, and then so you're definitely not getting to the gym again in the morning. So you need to sleep in to catch up that sleep. This has been a problem I've had, and then you end up with this perpetual cycle of late training, and then you start to falsely believe that you enjoy training late because it just becomes your habit. Just like if you start training every morning, you're going to start enjoying training in the mornings. We are creatures of habit, and so. Talking of training splits, one of the first things I'd say to do is try and train earlier. That is the first thing. You, regardless of what your split is, try and just put it in earlier and see how that feels.
Yeah, if you've got the options, if you know, I know I completely understand some people's work schedules just do not allow it. I've been in that situation plenty of times for years and years, where I couldn't even have a consistent time. It wasn't like I train at night, I train in the morning. It was I train when I get a chance to train.
Yeah.
And literally sometimes it would be after I finished work and it would be 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I'd get up before work and it would still be 2 o'clock in the morning. Just depending on what hours I was doing. It was ridiculous. You just get it in.
So in that way, if you are like that, then the mindset for you is to have that theory of I get to go training.
Yeah.
You just keep it a positive.
You get it done.
A reprieve.
Yeah.
And keep it a reprieve. Stay the fuck off your phone when you're in the gym. Let's talk about that as well before we even talk about splits.
This is your favourite topic.
Stay the fuck off your phone on in terms of social media.
It's a good job you don't own a gym because you just
I'd have a rubber hammer. And I go knocking people's phones. I would. Some gyms make you put your phone in like a drawer when you go in now because it's such an epidemic. Yeah. This is a pandemic. The real pandemic is mobile phones in gyms.
Lexus pandemic.
It is. That's the true killer of your sessions. Not low energy. Not like the lack of ability. Fucking mobile phone distraction. A pure distraction. The palm of my hand. That habit people have. They go straight to the phone from the pocket before the fucking weights hit the deck. I hate it because. Not only are you affecting yourself, but for someone like me, when I want to look up and look around in the gym, I want to be inspired. I don't mean I want to see some guy pulling 500 kilograms on a fucking deadlift. I just want to see some motherfucker around me working.
Busting their ass.
Yeah, I want to see people moving and working. I don't want to look around and see 8 motherfuckers leaning on a machine flipping through their phone. And don't tell me you're typing shit in on your little fucking apps, logging your data, because you're fucking not, because I can see you scrolling. I can see the guys logging, and I can see the guys and girls scrolling. There's a fucking difference in body posture and the way that you're using the phone. So don't try and fucking lie.
It's why I actually, for a while, I'm using an app at the moment, but I went old school for a couple of years, and like I literally I printed off, and because I was at my gym, I have a clipboard there, so I was literally there with my little clipboard and my pen, and I was just marking them off, and for me that was good because I could leave my phone in the office.
Well, I think maybe have a little fucking notepad and pen, write your shit down and log it later.
I actually want to get a couple of BCB like logbook training logs, just because I've seen a few of them and none of them are that great from what I've seen. So
but it's also the tactile nature of having paper and pen and writing it down. It adheres to our brains much stronger than it does when we tap into some kind of computer mechanism. So I don't know. I think it's nice to have a little notebook. I mean, it's nice to have those memories. It's nice to see this thing get slowly battered the more and more you use it in the gym and whatnot. And you can make notes when you're there as well if you're feeling a certain way. So make a note. Write things down. Make it interesting. Make it a collectible. Make it part of enjoyment of going to the gym.
Yeah, because I used to have like these little training logs from years ago. So I found a training log of mine that was from it was my first house. So I would have been probably 18, 19. Because I had a little lean-to, and I got a garage, like a setup in the lean-to of the side of the house. So it's just like it's kind of
lean-to.
Lean-to. Yeah.
What's that?
So it's like imagine it's kind of like a garage without sides. It's just a little leaning, like it's just a roof on
stilts.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's where I trained in that lean-to. Yeah, I don't know
what they call it. Is that a colloquialism?
Maybe it's a colloquialism. I don't know, but I thought that was a thing. Maybe
probably
it isn't. If
anyone heard it before,
if anyone knows if that's if lean-tos are real, let me know in the comments.
Have you got a lean-to?
Yeah. Do you lean-to? So and I found one of these logbooks from when I was probably like 18 or something like that, and just reading back through the notes, looking at the training, because at this point, obviously not that I know loads now, but compared to then, fucking clueless. And it was really interesting just looking back at the sessions, looking back at the weights that I was struggling. I was like, man, I was a fucking bitch. And it was just really interesting, and just like, and going through, because I was training with my best mate Chris at the time, and like seeing his numbers compared to mine, and then I don't know, it was very nostalgic to be able to do that, and I wish that I'd have continued that practice, so I could have had like years of logbooks, so then just like go back at any point, because realistically most of this is collect data, because yes, you can follow programs and most stuff works for most people, but everyone has their own individual needs. So
strengths and weaknesses,
strengths and weaknesses, certain things that seem to work more efficiently for you than they would somebody else. And if you log everything down over time, and especially if you put notes in terms of like how you're actually feeling at the time, and you're tracking your numbers over time, you'll start to get a very clear idea of, you can just basically run this system of refining your training plan to it's a never-ending cycle. You're never going to find the perfect plan, but like you're constantly just refining it, making improvements, changing things, adding new things in, and then getting rid of the things that don't work as well. And
you can always look back and see how far you got with something as well. So if you're starting fresh, you're like, right, where's my freaking benchmark? How do I get back to? Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for it, and I think there's a lot to be said for just writing stuff down and staying off these fucking devices. We're not designed to be on these. We are designed to be more tactile, and it is literally, there's been studies that show that when we write on paper, we actually adhere to the information. I think it's like it's something like 20 or 30% more.
Yeah, I know people are much better at remembering things that have been physically written down, opposed to anything that's been typed down or even just thought.
The same for me at uni. Whenever I always went back to writing stuff down for revision, making notes of my notes. Yeah, because they were typed, but. So there we go. So far, this is what we're on. Stay the fuck off your phones in the gym, because it pisses me off.
Just Lex.
But also, honestly, the distraction, you don't need it. When you're in the gym, that time is for you to focus on just you and the weights and the task at hand. Don't pull in distractions, and don't let people message you. Like, just shut your phone off. Put it on airplane mode. Your apps for logging shit will still work if you want to use those on airplane mode. They will. Yeah, I don't know. Because they must be an inbuilt system. If they don't, they're shit.
I have no idea.
And if not, get a fucking pen and paper and do what we said. Remember, you get to go to the gym. You don't have to go. And that's the point. When you get there, it's a break from everything else in the world. It's a break from the outside. It is a pure moment of time that you can dedicate to yourself. And you know that when you get that shit done, there's no other fucking way than getting better. You're coming out better for doing that session. Even if it was the shittest session, it's still better than the one you didn't do.
Yep, it is. 100%.
And that is a fact. And the more you get these little wins, you could have 100 shit sessions and you're still going to look better than the dude that did 0 sessions.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Fact.
Yeah.
And you're gonna, the mentality as well, when you come out of the gym, like we said, you're gonna have a higher energy level. You're gonna be mentally more alert. Your body's gonna be in a literal higher state of physicality and what would you say, cognitively enhanced, I guess,
yeah.
because you'll have so many. Your hormones will all be flying around, doing their fucking jobs. The endorphins are in there, pepping you up. The adrenaline's in there, keeping you firing high, making sure that, you're setting yourself up for the best day that you can have, rather than grind through some piece of shit to then have to grind through your session at night because you're tired from it and mentally beat down. I think it just works so much better. And if you can't do that and get in earlier, then at least in the morning, do something physical. Whether it be stretching, simple stretching, yoga or something.
Yeah, something that's going to just raise your heart rate slightly.
Yeah, anything like that. Even go for a fucking walk.
Yeah.
Anything just gets you alive and isn't sitting and looking at a fucking phone. From there, they're the basics. I think if you're not doing those and you do that, the whatever split you're doing will seem better.
Yeah, I think maybe we should start with what splits we're doing right now.
Well, no, let's start with the big thing is that there is no fucking perfect split.
Oh, you've spoiled it.
Kaboom. You have to say it. So if you're looking for the perfect split, if you're looking for the perfect answer, there fucking isn't one. There isn't one. There are a number of programs out there that will work depending on your goal set. And obviously, if you want to become stronger, there are fucking power training programs. If you want to become a powerlifter, then you've got to follow regimented protocols that mean not actually maxing out all the time and working to percentages.
Yeah.
Which is, and most people don't think that. They think, I want to get stronger, so they're going to lift heavy as fuck for as much as they can, and they break. And that's not how it works. That is the more niche you get in your goal set, the more heavily protocoled your training needs to be.
Yeah, the more specific you need to tailor that.
Yeah. So there's the whole shit ton of research in there, but the basics are this: consistency. Don't try something for a fucking week and decide you don't like it. You're not got shit done in a week. Your body's not even bedded in.
Yeah.
3 months on any program.
Yeah, don't
minimum.
program hop. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. You'll see somebody literally they'll do a few weeks or something. They'll
I'm not feeling it.
get a little bit bored or
Don't see an instant result.
Yeah. And they'll jump from one thing to another. And it's fine to do that in a certain situation. If that's like, if you are normally really consistent, everything's really good, and you're just like, you know what, this isn't for me. But if you're somebody who's in a perpetual cycle of this isn't for me, then maybe it's not the program. Maybe you're the problem.
Always trying to find the trick way. There isn't one.
You're looking for a shortcut. A lot of people think that there's some kind of like magic pill, and there really isn't. Well, there are some, but they're still not going to work it out.
They're not permanent. And also, here's the funny thing: looking for the shortcuts often makes shit take longer. Because you're wasting so much time trying to hustle and find these shortcuts and sneaky ways, and 10 years down the fucking line, that shit shows that it didn't work.
Yeah, you're almost, each time you reset and start something else, you're starting at the beginning. No, you're not literally starting at the beginning again, fucking hell. But you're starting at the beginning of a training plan again, which is normally like an introductory phase. So the first few weeks, you might like ease into that plan. So just as you're about to like hit like a more intense phase of the training plan, you've just fucked off and gone on to another one, and then you're getting eased back into another one. So basically, you're doing boring-ass training or dull training or something that's not that intense, and then wondering why nothing's happening because you never ran it through the course.
And the reason I said before 10 years down the line, that shit shows is because that's not a joke. Like 10 years is an adequate timeline for looking at a kind of a lifetime change in the way your body's going to look. Like you're not talking 12 fucking weeks, and people need to realize this. Years. You're talking years. So your training needs to represent that idea. Yeah. So you need to be doing some shit. You think about it. In a year's time, do I still want to be doing this? That's what you need to be thinking when you start something. Could I be doing this for a whole year minimum? And if you can't see yourself doing it, then don't start it. Go and find one that you can see yourself really grinding through for a year. And progressing with. And that bearing in mind has to fit into your life, into your work schedule, your family schedule and stuff like that. So don't try and think you're going to be some competitive powerlifter if you haven't got 5 to 6 days a week to dedicate to powerlifting.
Yeah.
Like there are limitations to certain things. So if you look at your limits and work to something that fits within your limits, you're going to be way more successful than trying to cram something into a schedule that you can't adhere to.
Yeah.
Because you're just basically setting yourself up for failure, and then that's disappointment, and then you're going to get, you're going to become disheartened, and then you're going to probably slack off for a little bit, and then have to restart the whole fucking process over again.
Yeah, that's it. This is a conversation that I have with a lot of our coaching clients because, I'll get asked the questions like, so how many times do I need to train?
Yeah.
And my answer is, how many times can you train?
Yeah.
Because...
Well, what's the answer to that? I'd say the minimum is 3 days a week.
Yeah, I say for most people...
To see progression.
Yeah.
Like you can train 2 days a week and it's good for your health.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But for progression, you can 100% see progression from 3 days a week.
Yeah.
You just have to have longer sessions.
Yeah. I always say most people, 3 to 4 sessions a week is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need... After 5 sessions, after more than 4 sessions, I would say that there's massively diminished returns, and all you end up doing is actually just reducing the volume in those sessions and spreading them out.
Yeah,
so you're still doing the same amount of workload, just over more days, which is fine if for you want to get in more frequently because you want the headspace. And
But
these
there is
other
the
things.
argument for a frequency of stimulation on that one though as well.
Yeah, but it depends how the training's structured, isn't it? If it was upper lower twice a week, so you're hitting every body part twice a week, then you're still sufficient.
But then we talk about fitting it into your limits. So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a good example of that.
Yeah, it's really based on, what are your limitations? Childcare, your job, your partner, your travel, all of these things.
They need to be looked at.
Yeah.
They've got to be put in there.
Those are all factors. So if you can only make it twice a week, don't be like, oh, fuck it, what's the point then? If I can't get in 3 to 4 times a week, I'm not going to do anything.
2 is still good for your health.
Yeah, come in twice a week. We've got clients at the moment that are in once a week, and they actually do 2 home workouts because they've got childcare issues.
Yeah.
They can't get away, so they've got some bands and some kettlebells. So they have these little mini feeder workouts, and then when they do come into the gym, they push it a little bit, a fair bit harder, and try and get the most out of it. And those little feeder workouts just carry them through the week. And they make good progress. It's not optimal, but for them it is because it's better than football.
Better than 0. Yeah, 100%. And it's giving them a focus when they're outside of the gym as well. So, I am training still, so I'm going to eat a bit better. It all spills over the whole thing, but we'll get onto that. So, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, there's so much we can talk about with this, so we'll try and keep it a little bit dialed in. So, in terms of if you're saying, right, what's the basic one that you should do? Now, the big one, if we're talking about resistance training, we talk about the bro split. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what a bro split is, it's like smash 1 body part a day, 5 days a week. You do 4 sets on that body part, 4 exercises on that body part usually.
Chest day today.
So it's like chest day, yeah. So you have like a chest day. Sometimes you'll have an arm day, which is bis and tris.
Yeah.
But then the other day will just be shoulders. Imagine, I couldn't believe I ever used to train like that.
Chest
just
day.
shoulders on a whole day. The tiny little fucking muscles that shoulders is all I want. Just fucking crazy. But so you would do a single body part on a day, and you smash the shit out of it in that session. You'll feel great by the end of it. But then the reality is, and this is why I'm leading into why you shouldn't do a bro split. Even if you're not natty, I still don't believe you should do a bro split.
No,
I just believe that if you're not natty, you buffer some of the error of a bro split. Yeah. And the problem with a bro split is, one, you are smashing the muscles so much that you're actually, by the time you probably get to about your 4th exercise, getting very little benefit from the exercise because the muscle's so beat down, your central nervous system is so beat up that you can't get the same benefit, contraction, focus, and even weight behind a movement that you would be able to get from a program that I'll tell you about in a second, another way of doing it. So what's basically happening is you're beating a dead horse by the time you get to that final exercise.
Yeah, well, it's that point, it's junk volume, isn't it?
Yes.
You're just adding more volume into that session for very, very little, basically no return.
And the reason you don't want to do that is because when your central nervous system is done, you need to stop. Because after that point, what happens is we start getting a negative hormone balance as a result of it. We start increasing things like cortisol, which we need cortisol to a certain extent. We need it in our system, but we don't need it overly elevated. And plus, what you're also doing is trashing your fucking joints because you're smashing a repetitive motion over and over again because there's only a certain range you can move within to work a certain muscle. Yeah. So chances of your injury goes up because one, you're tired as well when you get towards the end, and two, you've just beaten the fuck out of, let's call it chest, you've beaten the fuck out of your elbow, wrist, shoulder joint, working that chest muscle. So what you should be doing, in my opinion, is a higher frequency split. Now, what this means is that you train everything at least twice a week.
Yeah.
Now, you can break that volume down however you see fit, but the easiest way to do it would be to take a bro split, chop it down the middle, literally take 2 exercises from that chop on each day, and just spread them over 2 separate days, 3 days apart. But what you do to fit all this in is you simply train more body parts on a single day. So rather than doing 1, you do 2 or 3 on a single day, and you'll do 2 exercises, 4 or 5 sets on each of those body parts, and then you'll repeat it within 3 days. Not only is this going to reduce the smashing of your joints to pieces, it's also going to increase the stimulation that you have for protein synthesis for each individual muscle that you're training. Because in a natural system, we only have protein synthesis for a trained muscle of around 48 hours. They say a max of 72, but most people think it's done after 48.
I was going to say, it drops
it's
off.
dropping right off.
Tremendous. Yeah.
So if you think of doing a bro split and you smash chest on a Monday, by Wednesday, your body's no longer diverting protein to develop chest muscle. And aminos, obviously, are building blocks.
Yeah.
It's gone systemic again,
Yeah.
and it's concentrating on other body parts. So by training it twice a week, you are doubling the stimulation for growth on your muscles, whilst reducing joint deterioration and injury risk.
Yeah.
It's a fucking no-brainer.
Yeah.
And it's more fun because you've got less to do on a single day for each body part, but you get to train them again later in the week, so you can chuck in and out different exercises. I would recommend doing a compound and an isolation. 1 compound, 1 isolation on each day. And now, if you have a strength protocol, like you would say all you do is you would go and do your progressive compound lift at the beginning, and then follow that then with the high frequency training.
Yeah.
So you add in an extra exercise
Fluff,
of
as I'll
that.
call it.
Yeah, you would add in your major deadlift.
Yeah.
You get that shit done.
Yeah.
And then you would add in the high frequency with fluff exercises.
Yeah. Something to drive
Like
a bit
more
volume.
isolated and volume based.
Yeah, so you're gonna get more volume but less systemic fatigue, because obviously you can't drive all. Well, you can, but it's pretty challenging, and like trying to drive all of your volume through big heavy compounds. Definitely as a beginner you can do that because you're weak. So the systemic fatigue is way lower. As you actually start to get strong, you can't just keep squatting more like. Some people
linear.
can,
It
does. It curves off quite a lot. So then you're like, okay, you still need to get, for example, get your squats in to start, because especially if you want to get stronger at squats, you need to send very clear signals to your body of what am I trying to adapt to. But then there'll be kind of a drop off point after 3 sets, maybe 5 sets, where you're like, okay, I'm getting pretty fatigued now. I know that I need to still get a bit more volume in, because 5 sets of squats isn't enough for my legs in total. Maybe I could go off and do some belt squats, or some leg extensions, some hamstring curls, or some
supported.
RDLs, or some other kind of lower body movement that's not going to carry that same level of like central nervous system fatigue, that still is going to kind of get more volume in and stimulate that last little bit of kind of hypertrophy, basically.
Yeah.
That's an easy way of doing it.
So to just run that back to you, it's basically training everything twice a week. You do less on each individual day. You train 2 to 3 body parts on each day, but then you repeat the process within 3 days. Sometimes I've trained things within like 48 hours again because they felt great and fresh, and other things haven't felt good. So being organic in training, I think, well, that needs an extra day's rest because maybe I tweaked my knee or an elbow or something. So I'll give that an extra day's rest. I'll do that, but then it has to be done the next day. So you just work like that, and you don't need to be stringent, in my opinion, either. No. Other than if you want protocoled strength gains from compounds, everything else can be organic. How you feel on that day, what you want to do, what's feeling good, what's feeling bad, what you want to focus. So
if you know what works for you, you can do that. I think I do think most people should have some level of structure. You can definitely auto-regulate it. If something feels bad, don't do it.
That's what I mean.
One of our members of staff, he was on his way into work a couple of days ago, I think it might have been Monday, and he cuts through a park on his way in the morning, and he slipped over, the grass must have been wet, and he tweaked his wrist. And he asked me, he's like, what do you think I should be doing? And I was just like, just leave it for today, don't train, see how you are tomorrow, and at worst skip your upper. He's on like up 2 upper lowers, so I said skip your upper, go for your lower body session, and then just feel it out, see if squats make him uncomfortable, which he trained today, they were fine. And he's going to feel out tomorrow. doesn't matter. Like, if something comes up, if you need to make an adjustment, even if it was only going to affect him on one movement, like any kind of pressing, he could have still done his rows. He still could have done everything else, and maybe done some flies instead.
People need to understand that just because you have to like miss one set session or something, you have to adjust it for something else. It's not going to reverse what you've already achieved.
Yeah.
And it's the same with dieting. Like, a lot of people do that. I think they have one bad day, the whole fucking week's ruined. It doesn't work like that. So being adaptable is actually going to be a strength in the long run. Being unadaptable is what's going to cause failure and cause frustration and also stress you out too. When you can go into the gym knowing like, well, if shit's not there, like you're at a new gym, maybe on holiday, well, if that's not there, I'll just swap it out for this. Like, that it's having the ability to swap you onto. But as creatures of habit, like we talked about, we are going to go to those certain exercises that we want to get better at and enjoy doing. So don't worry, you're not going to go in there every day wondering what to do. You're going to have a natural system that you're going to flow through. And you can again write this down or work from something like a free something that you've downloaded from online. There's plenty of great training protocols out there that are free to try.
I'm personally very much on the side of frequency. Like, I've done 2 days a week, I've done 7 days a week training splits, I've done and everywhere in between. For me, what seems to work best, 3 to 4 days. But right now, so I'm doing 4 days a week, and they're all full body. So I will literally have back-to-back full body sessions. So I'll train full body Monday, full body Tuesday.
What's the reasoning behind this?
There's a lot more fluff. It's a bit more bodybuildery at the moment. So there's not too much systemic fatigue. Each session is completely different. So I'm never doing the same exercise for the same muscle group. In that entire week. So there's a lot of variation. So that's where it's not too much overlap. It's not like I'm squatting on Monday, squatting on Tuesday, squatting on Thursday, squatting on Friday. I'll be doing a leverage squat, then I'll be doing a hip thrust, then I'll be doing.
So you're working upper lower?
No.
Oh no, hang on. You're doing full body.
No, I'm talking about each day of the week. So I can show you an example of one of the sessions, but basically the session kind of varies. It's still full body, but I'm never repeating that same session that week.
By full body, you mean literally everything?
Yeah.
So you'll hit shoulders, triceps, biceps.
Yeah, so it's
chest,
not always going to be
back,
as direct.
Quads, hams, and calves every single day.
I don't try my calves. I've got massive calves.
Yeah,
I don't
you
need
do
to.
actually, yeah.
Fucker. So, all right, let me show you an example. So, lat pull down, low incline dumbbell press, Romanian deadlifts, single leg press, incline.
You're just doing one exercise for each body part.
Yeah, incline hammer curl and katana extensions.
How are you finding it?
All right. Like, the actual training itself's good. I feel very fresh, actually surprisingly fresh. Like, joints feel really good.
Yeah.
But that's probably because everything's really light and fluffy, and that's also the reason I'm kind of bored.
Yes. I would say full body training is good for people getting back into the gym, people starting, with little knowledge or coming back from an injury or just wanting to start building back up and get in. I wouldn't say full body training on a regular basis is really going to create bodybuilder-esque progression, but it's definitely going to keep you... It's definitely going to keep you fit. It's going to keep you moving. It's going to get all the things we want health benefit wise from training.
Yeah.
But if you want a physique change that's going to be anything other than weight loss, you're definitely going to have to dial it in more than a full body all the time. It's going to have to be at least upper lower splits.
Yeah, I think upper lower works really nicely for most people. I like full body as well, not in the structure that... I don't dislike it. It's definitely got pros and cons, but I have trained 3 days a week, full body, and I've came in when I was younger and weaker, like I was saying, not that much kind of CNS stress, and I would come in every single session. I would squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, pull-ups, some like curls
Bicep
of some kind, if I could be asked, and that was my session. Like... and 6 months.
But you see, that's a good structure because it compounds.
Yeah, just compound after compound, day after day, and I made progress. I made loads of progress actually.
Yeah.
And from like a hypertrophy point of view, it was really good. Like, you can't consistently be getting bigger, like getting stronger without getting bigger, but you will burn out on that.
Yeah, and you will get it becomes a lot having to go all the way through your body every single time. So sometimes it's nice to have a bit of that focus onto certain areas, and I think that is a progression from where you would go to is starting to focus and dial in more upper lower, and then once you got upper lower going, then you can start dialing in on your movements in terms of the compound versus the isolation you want to pair together for that body part that day.
Yeah.
So there's loads of little variations you can do there, but I think we need to just dial it in a little bit because we've got to cover cardio and shit first as well, and not first as well. So what we're saying is, if you can train things at least twice a week, that is going to be more beneficial in natty or not natty, in my opinion, just for the fact you're getting extra stimulation and a reduced injury risk. Plus, interest is higher.
Well, also,
training.
there's the level of interest, but also in terms of if you actually, not necessarily if you're doing it just to get stronger. Everyone wants to get stronger in the gym. Do you know what I mean? That's just, even if that's not the driving force. But there's a massive component of just the actual neurological adaptations, the fact that you pick up the skill better. Because, you know, if I went from doing a barbell back squat to doing a front squat, I haven't done front squats in a while, so they'd feel a bit weird, take a little bit of time for me to actually get quite efficient at that movement to then really start shifting weight over time and getting a bit more progressive overload. So, same as anything, if you practice something once a week or twice a week, which one are you going to get better at? The one that you practice more frequently. So there's the actual skill of the lifts, which, again, frequency helps massively. Leaving it a whole week before you put a bar on your back again, of course squats are going to feel awkward.
The training of the mechanics of the body as well is going to suffer from that. Because obviously, again, like the more that you do a movement, the more that chain mechanism that you require to do the movement starts locking in and starts being able to stabilize faster and allow you to progress faster as well. If you're doing it once a week, those wobbles are going to take longer to go away. That, you know, I just think overall it's such an archaic way of training.
Yeah, it's the same as anything though, isn't it? Imagine if you were, I don't know, imagine you're first learning to drive a car, like you've never driven before, and you could jump in a car and do 10 hours solid in a whole day. Imagine what that last 5 hours of driving is going to be like. You're going to be tired, you're going to be stressed, you're going to be, your focus isn't going to be there. Then imagine if you spread that 10 hours equally throughout the week and how much more productive those 10 hours would have been. You know what I mean? Get multiple hour and a half sessions.
When you break it down,
you've got fresh and focus. It's
mad that people still do the bro split.
But
so you do have to remember as well, when you're looking at people like Arnie and people that we all look up to. I actually said that today, is he's going to be, they're doing the Arnold Expo, aren't they, in September. And Arnie's on the front of it, and his like meet and greet is sold out instantly. Yeah, like just gone. I was like, isn't it mad how we all love that guy? Yeah, and he's getting on. He's getting on, man. Imagine when he goes, there's going to be like a worldwide morning.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
It could be bigger. He's
never going to.
Just going to be a head in a tube.
Yep, fully future armor.
I hope they put him into a Terminator. Hey, did you see about Google?
No, what's this?
There's a guy who was a whistleblower from Google. He created a AI called, I don't know what the fuck it's called. It's called something like Selena. I don't know, something like that. Yeah. He has come out and said it became sentient, and he took it to Google when he was working with it, and he said there was a moment where he realized it became something. It became aware. Yeah, and he took it to Google, and they asked him if he was seeing a psychiatrist or anything like that, and shooed him off, put him on for like forced leave. Yeah, and he's like a proper nerdy looking dude, the type of dude that we should all fucking listen to. Like, he doesn't look like the type of guy that's trying to get attention. He's like balding, he's a bit fat, he just wears a hoodie, he doesn't give a fuck about the way he looks, and this is the kind of guy we should be fucking listening to before like robots start taking over.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, so he literally took it as a legitimate thing, and he's come out and said, like, he's trying to tell people, because he fucking wants people to fucking be aware that this shit, that Google has some apparently sentient fucking software.
Wow. I feel like Elon Musk needs to come to our rescue.
Fucking, yeah, he needs to get us off this
planet.
planet.
What was the guy in the first Terminator? Something Kyle.
Reese Kyle.
Kyle Reese?
Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese.
Yeah, he can be Elon Musk can be him, and then.
But how sketchy is that? Like, we're starting to hear, even if it's not true, the fact that there's software that's
it's getting to blurring the line already.
Google's basically said no, it's just loaded with so much data that it seems sentient. Yeah. But this is the dude that made it and has been working with it day in, day out, and he was like, no, there's a fucking shift. Like, he was talking to it about religion, and it had a moment where he was like, we didn't program this kind of.
I wonder, like, where's that line though? What's the difference between seeming sentient and being?
And having all the information already, and being able to access it. Well, I guess it's choice forming, isn't it?
Yeah.
From the knowledge.
But then how do you know?
Just spitting out the information.
If it seems, then how do you know? Because you don't, do you, at that point?
We won't know until all of a sudden there's no internet and rockets are flying through the air.
Yeah.
And then we'll all wish we'd moved to Alaska. But back to training.
Fucking hell. Tangent.
That's again why you shouldn't use your apps in the gym. You're helping further sentient takeover.
Yeah.
So just stick to the paper, pen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you see when there's like there's some kind of massive fucking human holocaust, you'll still have your training guide. With your little pen and paper, you'll still be able to get shit done.
Yeah. Everyone else is getting fucking eaten by their phones.
So what have we got on? So high frequency is the way forward. If you can wrap your head around what we've said. If you've got any questions, obviously always hit us up. I wanted to cover cardio. So split wise, what's the perfect thing? If you can get in 3 days a week, that's enough. Ideally, 4 to 5 days will give you a little bit more dialed in progression, and you'll be able to just elaborate more on your training and get a bit more volume in there easier. So, and again, more days a week is more frequency, which is more stimulation. Obviously, you still need, that's what I wanted to cover. You still need the recovery. So in terms of your split in days, at least have 2 days off a week. Like you need that rest. The reason you need it is to let your central nervous system recover, to also let your body recover. In terms of the high frequency, I feel like we get better recovery from that as well, because again, you're not beating the muscle to fucking death. And so then what happens when you're coming home? The muscle isn't as beat up. You're able to move through normal ranges of motion. Your DOMs aren't going to be as severe because you're getting normal DOMs and not fucking just muscular pain.
Well, also you'll get less DOMs anyway because of the higher frequency, like your body, because everything's just signals, isn't it? It's
You've
just
got to get them though.
adaptations.
Don't get me wrong. Like I can't sit on a toilet seat after squat days.
Yeah,
like,
but
the next day or two.
Well, if again though, I think for most people your DOMs will start to reduce quite a bit when that frequency and the consistency of movements
drops. Yeah.
Because it depends how much you rotate exercises. If you rotate exercises loads, but it's more about just like sending a clear signal to your body. If you're somebody who wants to, build big legs and squats do that for you and you don't have any issues, if you start squatting 3 days a week,
You're get good at it.
Yeah, and you're not going to get much DOMs from squatting unless you do something very out of the ordinary. Say you're normally working in sets of 8 to 10 and then you chuck in a set of 20.
Yeah.
You'll get some severe DOMs.
I've got something for you on that front.
So, yeah, it's again just sending clear signals and generally speaking, a bit more frequency tends to have a little bit less DOMs.
Yeah, it definitely does have less. They are
than doing like a one-off session where you smash everything.
100%, 100%. Which then literally can cripple the way you move. So if you're reducing your natural ranges of motion then during the day because you're so beat up from the training, you're going to start getting impingements. You're going to start getting these kind of compensation movements through the day. You might sit worse at work and not be able to be as comfortable in your car. There's a shitload of follow through.
You're also not going to enjoy life in between because you're like, fucking it, this hurts.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, it's just going to suck.
So then cardio-wise, on top of this, here's the thing. If you do you need to do cardio to strip fat? No. Is it good for your heart and lungs? Yes. So cardio should be done even, and here's one for you, when you're bulking. Why? Because it makes you a better fucking machine. If your heart, lungs, and blood supply are more efficient, you are going to be able to grow better. You're going to be able to utilize your calories better. You're going to have a more efficient digestive system, recovery system, everything goes hand in hand with having a better pulmonary, vascular, lungy system. I can't remember the name of fucking
Cardiovascular.
Cardiovascular did not come to my head there. Lungy. So if you want 2 good lungies and a good beaty heart, and then all the red stuff, which is not actually red when it's in your system, it's actually blue.
It's gravy.
Yeah. To flow around nice and easy and smooth, and you want to live longer and stay healthier, cardio is a fucking must. Do you have to be on a treadmill being bored? No. Do you have to be on a fucking bike being bored? No. It can be anything. It can be boxing. It can be going out on long walks. It can be doing hill sprints. Whatever the fuck gets your heart rate moving, just do that at least 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, and there's different adaptations depending on different types of cardio, but for the most part, if you just fucking do something.
Yeah, I would split it between a mixture of HIIT training and LISS. HIIT is fun, but it will give you DOMs. So don't do HIIT training like sprints prior to leg day. Stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you would do the steady state if you want to do a treadmill work or something before the leg day. Then you do the HIIT training before chest day. So there's so many avenues, and again, what I want you to do is not get bogged down in having to do one. Play, see what you enjoy, do what you enjoy, because if you do what you enjoy, you're more likely to do it consistently.
Yeah.
But definitely have cardio in whether you're cutting or bulking. It just needs to be in there as a base level all the time. And then the final one is sets and volume. So here's the thing. I think if you don't know anything, work within an 8 to 12 rep range, and you're golden.
Yeah.
8 to 12, you're getting a bit of both. You're going to get a little bit stronger. You're going to get that hypertrophy in there as well. Towards your end sets, if you want to come down between 6 to 10, that's good too, because then you can judge whether fatigue's bringing you down, or whether, in which case the weights stay the same, or whether you need to up the weight to just pull those reps down. And you'll notice I'm saying 6 to 10 and 8 to 12, not 10 or 6 range, because if you set a certain number, I guarantee you'll start failing towards that number.
Yeah, you do.
Or you're putting it down too early. You'll start giving yourself mental blocks. Whereas if you give yourself a range, it works easy. If you're hitting the lower end, the weight's heavy enough. If you're hitting the upper end, back to back, okay, this weight can go up.
It gives you wiggle room, doesn't it? So you can auto-regulate that session, because that weight on a bad day, because you've just not slept well or whatever else, you'll be on the bottom end of that range.
Yeah.
But you're still in the range. Good day, you're flying, you're right on the top end of that range.
Yeah.
And you don't have... It's not going to attach any negative emotion to that training session.
Yeah,
You're just going to be like, I'm still doing what I'm doing, but it's just...
I'm hitting my range.
Yeah, but it's just a bit of a tougher day today.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's not
Whereas
like...
if you didn't hit 8, if you only got to 6, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I love strength-based programs, but they do come with a level of anxiety with those sessions over time, when you know that you need to be hitting certain numbers at certain percentages. Yep. And a lot more intelligent programming now does allow some kind of auto-regulation, whether it be percentages with like a gap, whether it be working off of RPE or what's the other one, like RIR, reps in reserve, which is basically exactly the same as RPE, basically. And it's just ways of just accounting for the fact that every day isn't going to be the same, but you can still go in with the same level of intensity. So yeah, what you were saying, kind of 8 to 12 is sound for most people. It doesn't mean that you can't do brilliant things below those rep ranges or
you
above.
can. I'm just saying if you don't know, then hit those. But what ideally you want to be doing is make your first couple of, if you want to do pyramid training, that's a good way of doing things, where you will start lighter and slowly increment the weight up to get heavier, in which case the reps also aim to come down. Because as the weight goes up, weights come down, because obviously you're not going to be able to lift the heavier weights as many times as the lighter weights. But that is the most simplistic way of doing it. And I do like it, but I also feel that there are drawbacks to it, in the fact, like you said, when you have off days and tired days, working up to that heavier weight when you're already tired, having to do the volume prior can often hinder you. Whereas if you didn't have to do that volume set prior and went straight in heavier, you might get more reps out of that heavy one. So my suggestion for this would be, have different weeks, and this really works well for me. And you'll have a volume week, then you have a heavy week, and you can go back to volume, and you can do heavy. You can split it like that. I actually have 3 phases, so I'll have a volume, and then a heavy, and then a mind to muscle week, and then I'll loop back round. And it really, for my mentality and my body, it works really well, because by the time I finish my volume week, which is I actually start 12 to 16 and then come down 8 to 12 on the final sets. So the first 2 are always higher. The final 3, I always aim to let fatigue pull them down, as in a volume week. So it makes me work harder. But then obviously the weight can go up a little bit as well to pull them down. By the time I finish my volume week, all my isolation movements are kind of really dialed in, and obviously the heavier movements are fucking hard at volume. So the body's primed, but it's not really taking a beating joint-wise through the weights. So then by the time I come from going high volume into a low volume, heavier week, the body's primed and loosey-goosey from the volume week. So it moves easily through the compound motions. But then obviously having the heavier weight and having to hit lower numbers, it seems easier mentally. Because it's a lower number, but also my body's not beat the fuck up from last week having to shift heavy load. So, and then once that heavy week's done, I don't move on to volume. So the joints get a reprieve, because I go to a mind to muscle, and that's contraction work. So everything's a tight squeeze at the top. And ironically, you can only probably get between 8 to 10 reps on this week. So even though the weight's light, because you're squeezing for 1 to 2 seconds of every single rep at the top, your fatigue is fucking high on those. So and then boom, you're back to volume, and it's all flow and go. So if you guys want to give that a go,
it balances things out quite nicely. I know one of the things that you mentioned in terms of like how you'd regulate kind of a pyramid set, and how that can sometimes be a negative, because you've already done quite a bit of volume before you get to heavy set. When we train together, I do it's not necessarily like a reverse
it's actually
pyramid.
really good. So talk one through this one. Hang on.
So it's not. I'm not doing it right now, but something that works very well for me. And this is probably. I wouldn't do this as a beginner. I'd say this is a kind of an intermediate to an advanced kind of thing. That's you're going to get the most out of it.
You need your movement to do this. You need to be adept at the mechanics of the movements you're going to do. So you don't want to be doing this if you're just learning to squat or just learning to bench press. You need to be quite adept at those movements. You need to know how to lock everything in and have the joints safe and be moving through the correct ranges of motion before trying this.
Yeah, everything needs to be in place beforehand, which is why, again, I'd say that this is probably intermediate to advanced. Where I go through different phases, so I'm going to have to really generalise here.
Yeah.
And I used to work off an RPE scale. So
RPE is
rate of perceived exertion, which is another word for RIR, which is reps,
10, how
reps in
fucking hard was
reserve.
it?
Yeah. So I would do an RPE 7, for example, which is 3 reps in reserve. So I'm gonna work up to something heavy. So I'll start warming up. I'll work up to maybe like a double. So 2 reps at an RPE 7. So that is a weight that I can do in theory for 5 reps, but I only do 2. So it's still fairly heavy. Then I'll back off for 2 to 3 sets of some more volume, maybe sets of 8 to 10 at also an RP 7. The following week, I'd follow the same protocol where it'd be a double, but now it's going to be an RP 8. So it's going to be slightly higher intensity. Then same thing for my volume, that'll be RP 8s. Then exactly the same the week after, I'll ramp up to an RPE 9. I'll very rarely ever go RPE 10 unless I fuck up my RPE and I accidentally hit an RPE 10,
right.
Which does happen. But yeah, I find for me, especially with having strength as a priority, volume is brilliant because that's what's actually going to drive these adaptations. But if you spend too long away from heavy loads, you actually decondition to being able to handle them.
Yeah, dude, when I couldn't squat for ages and I put that bar on the back of my neck for the first time, all of the nerves that have been deadened over the years were fully fucking alive. Yeah. And the pain on my vertebrae of just having the bar there again was enough to put me off on some sets. Like I really had to... And do you remember I actually got an edema.
Yeah, you had that mark, yeah.
Yeah, mark. No, I had a fucking hunchback because of it.
Yeah.
For like a
because it
good
lumped
48
up,
hours,
yeah,
it lumped up like properly. I had fluid there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
So
you do need to definitely condition your body to these movements.
Yeah, so for me, I don't like to decondition from any heavy loads at any one point. So I always keep these in. So it's not like I've hit a 1 rep max. I've literally done something that I could have done for 5 for like 2 reps.
Yeah.
But still, relatively speaking, that might have been 200 kilos on a squat. It's still going to be quite heavy. I'm not going to do my volume of 200 kilos.
Yeah.
But then, I might back down to 160.
There's also that intelligent way of doing it where you would hit your heavy load by the 3rd set, but then you deload for the following sets. But the body's perceived rate of exertion still thinks it's lifting the heavier reps, heavier weights and loads. So by hitting your peak weight mid exercise, and then backing off with, is it 2 or 3 volume sets we did when we were doing it?
I think we did 3.
3. You actually end up with the same gains as would be done by working for another 3 sets of that heavy.
Yes.
But less central nervous stress, joint stress, and it's fucking good mental boundary breaker too.
Yeah, it is, and it's really nice because when even if 160 still feels heavy for me, but if I just had 200 on my back, 160 feels like fuck all, and I'm just like, oh, there we go, easy,
that's
breezy,
true as well.
just like flying through it.
So you end up voluming with the heavier weight afterwards as well.
Yeah, it's a nice way of feeling good.
So
and
a
also
quick way someone could add that into the thing just to give them an idea for them to try it.
So again, especially if you're
let's say you were squatting, your max squat was 100 kilos.
Okay.
And you're going to do this thing.
Okay. If your true 1 rep max is 100 kilos, you might work up to a double at 80 kilos.
Which is 2.
2 reps at 80 kilos.
People be confused about doubles.
Yeah, you might work 2 reps with 80 kilos, whereas really you could probably do that for a set of 5.
Yeah.
Probably even 6 maybe.
So set 1 would be what?
So, I would literally empty bar. This is how I would warm up. So empty bar, 40 kilos, 60 kilos, 80 kilos. And that 80 kilos is my first working set.
Yeah.
That's going to be my heavy double too. Then I'd probably back down to around about 60 kilos for something like, 3 sets of 10. That's, again, I'd have to run the numbers because that's too far away from my maxes to work out accurately.
Just so people can get this structure.
And once you've done it, and it doesn't matter if you do it and that's too easy, that's okay because there's always next week or the next session,
Or the
and then you're
next
like,
3
okay,
days,
like okay, that was a little. When I backed off for my volume, 60 kilos was actually a little bit too light. I still felt like I could have done more,
Yeah.
so I'm going to do 62.5. I'm going to do 65, and also while I'm here, use the fucking incremental plates. Pisses me off. You don't have to do everything in sets. It doesn't have to be a 5 kilo or a 10 kilo jump. Like they make these little plates for a reason.
Yeah, I use them all the time.
Yeah, like especially on. Depending on how small or how weak you are on that kind of body part, those small jumps are massive.
Yeah.
For example, like a 200 kilo deadlift and a 100 kilo bench press, those incremental jumps, you can make the same incremental jump, but doing a 10 kilo jump on a bench press is
way
double
different.
what it would be on a 200 kilo max deadlift, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's use the incremental plates. And there's even microplates. We have microplates at BCB that go to 0.25 of a kilo.
Yeah, because sometimes that's all you need to progress past plateau points is, when something feels fucking heavy, but you've got another set to do. And you're like, but I want to get more weight. But there's no way I'm putting a 5 on each side. Adding just a kilo on top.
Yeah.
One, mentally, you're like, well, I did fucking more and it moved and it felt exactly the same. Yeah. Which it will do. It's just one of those where it gets you over that mental hurdle, but also it is adding that a bit of load, a little bit of extra load, slowly but surely over time, because you can add more and more microplates.
Mm-hmm. Which is one of the reasons I love barbells as well. Like that can be the trouble with certain
fixed dumbbells.
Yeah, fixed dumbbells.
Dumbbells are big jumps, man. When you look at them, 2.5 kilos at a time on a dumbbell.
Yeah,
you're talking sometimes
that's 5 kilos. Like total.
Sometimes that's a 30% jump.
Yeah, exactly. And also like cable stacks. Like you've got like 5 kilo jumps. I was actually doing like a cable chest press, and I had like 45 either side. Cranked it out for a set of 12. And I was like, oh, that's quite easy. I'll go up to 50. Just about managed to get it because I was only having 60 seconds rest, so that was kind of challenging. But like that 10 kilo jump was quite hefty for me, and it just meant that like really I needed somewhere in the middle because I went from too easy to too hard, and I have no other options. So I was like, I'll just go again with the thing that's too hard, and I only got to like 7 reps and failed, and I shouldn't have done it.
You do a drop set then.
Yeah.
So, well, fuck, this is going to go on too long otherwise. So hopefully we can use some ideas there. But here's some things you need to know alongside these. 1, drop sets don't make you go faster. They don't have any real added benefit other than the fact you can fit more shit into a shorter time period.
Yeah, same with supersets, drop sets, anything like that.
And they're fun.
It's condensing time, keeping you occupied, mentally stimulated.
So if you are struggling for time in the gym, drop sets are a great way of training, a great way of getting in more volume in a shorter time. But there's no real added benefit. And over time, they actually might fuck you up because it's a very intensive way of training.
Yeah, I think the risk of injury potentially is a little bit higher because of that level of fatigue that you're carrying through set after set because of very short rest intervals or no rest intervals.
You're going to slip on technique, aren't you, with it? So try your best as well throughout whatever you're doing to maintain mechanical stability in your movements. Stop letting other bits come in just because you're getting tired. It's no excuse. If you can't lift it because you're tired, then you're fucking done. Yeah, that's it.
Go off
technical failure, not bodily failure.
Yeah.
Rest times, I tend to go for no more than a minute between sets, unless it's a heavy week, in which case when you're pushing heavy loads, up to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I go up to 5 sometimes. Again,
see, for me, I get too cold if I wait for that long.
It does depend on what your condition do as well. Some people can go 10 minutes, some people, but for me, that's too extreme. 5 minutes is normally a good amount of time for me with heavy loads.
But we're not talking like it feels heavy. We mean active heavy fucking loads, like pushing your probably that 80% mark on stuff.
I'd even say I'd even push it to like kind of 85 to 90% mark when that's when
you get the big rests.
Yeah, and again, it's what you're conditioned to. If you're somebody who always does like 60 seconds rest, you'll probably be pretty fresh after 3 minutes. If you're somebody who always has 3 minutes rest, you're probably going to be like as fresh as you need to be after 5 minutes.
But during your fucking rest, what don't we do, Lou?
Get on your
go
phone
on a fucking phone.
Tinder.
No, you don't. You sit there and you fucking prep
Grinder.
yourself for that next set. You stretch things out, you warm things up, you focus on what you're doing, you deload and load the bar, fucking move around. Don't sit and be on your fucking phone because that is not rest, that is not focus, that's not dialing you into where you're at. It's disconnecting you from your moments.
We've had quite a few members that actually deliberately would like in between sets, they just walk.
Yeah,
and
I do it all the time.
And I was talking to them, and they actually started to track what they were doing, and they were able to like rack up like 3,000 to 4,000 steps over their like hour and a half training session from their like 2 minute rest intervals.
Yeah.
So like you're getting your steps in, you're still recovering, you're fine, obviously it depends on the type of place you're in. If it's very busy and you're probably going to lose your piece of kit if you get up and walk off.
I don't know, man. I imagine the gym I'm at's like quite busy all the time.
I'm thinking more commercial
I
settings.
have a bag by it.
Yeah.
Just leave your water bottle there or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, some commercial places, they're just going to fuck that off.
Just
and
walk
take
back
it.
and forth in short 10-foot spaces.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do, pace back and forth. Yeah. But it's keeping you present as well. You're present in the fucking moment. The moment you go on your phone, you're fucking detaching. I'm telling you now, it's affecting you negatively. So just, focus, make rests an actual fucking rest, but it's a focus, it's a rest for the mind. Reset the mind, get ready and fucking prime yourself to get back in.
I think one of the things I wanted to say also is don't get too hung up on obviously we're talking about the splits. So for me, some of my favourite splits at the moment is going to be an upper lower and a full body and also a push-pull legs, but you can combine them. If you wanted to train 3 days a week, but you wanted to get a little bit more volume in on more accessory work or fluff work in, which you don't have space to do that with 3 full bodies. So you can do a full body, upper lower. And you can, if you wanted to do 5 days a week, you can do upper lower, push pull legs.
Just make sure when you do that you stick to it for a good amount of time, trialing it out. Don't do it for like 1 week and then flip it out the next week and then flip it out. So do it for at least 4 weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say, spend some time with it, and it really depends on. I was doing upper lower for quite a while. Monday, Tuesday was upper lower, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday upper lower, weekend off. And I got to a point where I was like, I want to add in a little bit more accessory work. There's a few things I want to work on, and I'm just struggling to condense all that down into upper lower and make that session efficient. So I was like, I'm going to do upper lower, push pull legs, and it just spread it a little bit thinner, allowed me to get a bit more direct arm work in there, which is something I've always neglected.
Yeah.
And actually really liked it.
Feeder exercises.
Yeah, little feeder exercises. And I actually felt really fresh for it. But now I don't have time to get in 5 days a week. So I'm doing this 4 day a week full body split, which has got 2 longer sessions, 2 shorter sessions. So if I'm pressed for time, I just pull out one of the short ones. And they're all interchangeable. They all overlap, so it's quite nice. That's one of the things I did really like, which I've never had before. I've never been able to just be like, oh, I'll pick out workout 3 because that's one of the shortest. Because I'm in a rush today. I've got a meeting.
That's the thing about being adaptable as well, and realizing that you can be. You don't have to be stuck to this regimented regime. It has to have a core structure to it, but it needs to also be malleable and flexible and interchangeable and work with like you said, focusing on certain areas you want to work on and all of that. So what's good for one person might not be good for you, and that's part and parcel of the journey, and going along and trialing different things and being like, well, I really like that, I don't so much like this, and then slowly over time you adapt.
We should put our heads together and put out a plan.
Yeah.
The CREWCast plan.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. And we're saying that there's not an optimal training split, but the one me and Lex will.
Until now.
Until now. This is what it's been leading to.
Right.
For $9.99.
We started this one, we're thinking this will be just a short, easy one to go through. Fuck me, it's such a massive topic. So if you've got a bit confused,
we've got questions as well, haven't we?
We've got questions to do, so I'm just wary of, because we want to try and keep these podcasts a little bit shorter because we were running into 2 hours too often.
Yeah.
So we're going to now go on questions. So if you want any more covered on the fitness bit that we just talked about, you have to let us know. Messages, and then
Comments.
we'll add it into the following episodes.
Yeah.
Let's have a little look-see. So go on, what have you got? Okay.
Only got a couple here, but so this isn't really my field of specialty, but the best training split for combat athletes. So he doesn't actually work with us anymore. We're still friends. He's just moved out of the area. Jake, you worked with him a little bit.
Yeah,
so
Jake's.
one of the things he specialised in was combat athletes. And saying what's the best training split for combat athletes, and I probably would agree, and from what I've seen, it is actually going to be full body, because you've got a lot of fatigue already from your sports specific kind of your combat work, basically.
Yeah.
So you don't need crazy amounts of volume. This is more prehab, basically preventing yourself getting injured while maybe when you're very far away from a fight, building strength. If you haven't even got a fight planned or whatever else, that's when you would be building strength. But you don't want that to ever be taking away from your skill work, basically. No. So a full body kind of 2 to 3 times a week with not a huge amount of volume, your training is going to look very different to somebody who's training purely for hypertrophy or strength.
Also want to adapt movements as well to be towards your
Yes.
sports, which is obviously fighting. So what I used to do a lot of was kind of like, instead of doing shoulder press, I would do barbell punch outs, where you have the barbell either in a
Landmine
corner
attachment,
or in a landmine attachment, and then you hold the top. So one end of the barbell is effectively into the floor on a pivot, and then you hold the other end with like a 10 kilo weight on it, and you punch out and up at an angle. You punch up at an angle, rotating through with your hips and pushing through. But then I would go and do normal chest press and stuff like that as well, higher volume. And then that I worked a lot like that. Again, things like lunges and stuff like that are going to be really good. But you want to stay away from. I mean, if you're going to start doing deadlifting, you want to look at explosive deadlifts and things like that. You don't want to be racking up massive pulls where you're stressing out all your erectors.
Yeah, it's risk to reward. You'll see a lot of combat athletes that are actually going to do trap bar a lot more. You see trap bar being used quite a lot more. It varies as well, because you've said combat athlete, so it depends, because there's so much variety.
Yeah. But we've got an idea at least.
Yeah. The kind of getting into the specific exercises themselves, that's very much out of the scope of this. That's a really long conversation.
So these are obviously just fitness questions as well. It's no longer about just training. We put out a thing to say fitness questions. So we've got one. Will you do a Lex and Lewis gym session with me for my birthday, please? And that is S1 Monarch. I don't know. Do you train at Lou's gym?
Yeah. If you're around.
You never know.
When's your
Might get
birthday?
lucky. And when's your birthday?
Yeah.
For Mr. Lewis, any plans to open any more BCB gyms in the future?
Yeah, there is. Not anytime soon, but soon, like at some point it would be it's on the card. It's something that I want to do. I've got a lot that I want to get done first, in terms of I want everything to be as close to perfect as possible. And I know that's easier said than done, but I feel like replicating something. If I'm replicating, say I've got BCB that's operating at 80% of its potential, then I duplicate what I've got. Then I've got two facilities operating at 80% of their potential. So I've got 40% ground to cover.
Yeah.
Whereas if I can get it to 95%, then duplicate it, then I've only got 10% ground to cover. So any problems that I come across later on down the line are just going to be so much easier to solve. So yeah, I am maybe a bit of a perfectionist, but also I know that there's still loads of room for growth and improvement on our current model.
Yeah.
So yes, answer in a word.
I definitely think the structure's there for it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Biggest mistake you see people doing when training? Being on the phone.
Why did I know that was coming up?
It is. You're detaching yourself from the moment that should just be between you and the training. You and mentally getting through that session, boosting yourself up, being your own fucking cheerleader.
Yeah.
And also, when training sessions is tough, dude, when I come out of a set and I'm dying, it takes all my focus to sit, slow my breathing, slow my heart, and prime myself for that next set, especially if I've only got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I will sit and pace and count out loud 30 seconds. 1, 2. I'll count it so that I know I'm not procrastinating and I'm not. Whereas if you've got your phone, time becomes a little bit irrelevant. Suddenly your 30 seconds rest becomes 3 minutes rest.
Yeah.
You haven't realized, because you get engrossed into something. And again, it's just pulling you away. I think that and thinking you've discovered something no other fucker's ever done.
Yeah.
Like, if you're doing some shit nobody else is doing, chances are you're fucking shit up.
Yeah, you're being an idiot.
Yes.
Yeah, very good chance of it.
Don't complicate the basics.
Yeah, I think that's it. Don't overcomplicating shit. Don't fucking try and reinvent the wheel.
If you're just starting out, you don't need to be doing a shit ton of rotational movements. You need to be focusing on linear compound shit.
Focus on some compound lifts.
Yeah, and
for
get
people
them dialed in.
People that don't know what compound versus isolation are, it's not actually about the muscles. It's about the amount of joints that are being used. So by definition, a compound is a multi-joint movement, such as a squat. Your hips are moving, your knees are moving, your ankles are moving, multiple joints. Opposed to a bicep curl, just the elbow. So that's the definition. And by definition, again, if more joints are moving, more muscles are being worked.
Yeah.
For me, I'd say the biggest mistake I see people making is maxing out too often. Because there's multiple reasons why that's fucking silly. And I know, especially when people are newer to lifting and they're like, oh, I've got a PB. Oh, I've got a PB. So firstly, there's a very clear difference between actually building strength and demonstrating strength. When you're maxing out, you're
shift it, don't lift it.
You're demonstrating strength. Is that actually going to be that useful in the long run? Yeah, you still get some training stimulus from a 1RM, but is it enough volume to really drive much kind of progress.
They've shown. I don't think it has. Hypertrophy's effect's minimal.
Yeah, it's minimal because the volume's so low, and also the level of like everything has a stimulus to fatigue ratio.
Yeah.
A 1 rep max, very high fatigue ratio, very low stimulus. When you're doing, a set of 10 with like 2 reps left in the tank, good stimulus, good fatigue, it's manageable. That's a sweet spot. And each exercise as well is going to have different stimulus to fatigue ratios. A heavy squat is going to carry more fatigue than a leg press, for example, but also more stimulus. Yeah. So going fucking off topic, maxing out is bad from the point of stimulus to fatigue. It's also running the risk of injury so much higher. But also what these people are doing, and I don't mean to like point the finger at anybody, but like you're building. Okay, yeah, I am. I'm pointing it right at you, right there. I fucking see you. Maxing out right now. So what you're doing is you're building an emotional relationship with these numbers, and when you first start lifting, you're going to hit PBs all the time because you're shit, and you can do anything and be less shit. When you actually start to like properly make adaptations to training, that rate in hitting PBs drops off a fucking cliff.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And
your attempts at PBs drop off as well, because you shouldn't be practicing more than like once every 5 or 6 weeks.
Well, yeah, that exactly. But some people come in and they think, oh, I'll try and max out again. And their first 6 months of training, they can max out and hit new PBs most weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And then after you do this for a little while, you start to not get PBs. And then you're like, oh, what's going on? And then you start to feel shit about your training. Yeah. It's because you're now addicted to getting PBs. Like, I've gone 12 months without hitting a PB. I've trained solidly, consistently, without hitting a PB. That's real. That's real life. Yeah. That's 14 years later of training.
Fucking hell.
Like, if you are so emotionally attached to hitting numbers, when they stop coming, you're going to feel pissed off. So, yes, have goals, but you need to learn to love the process as well, because that's actually what's going to keep you going.
That is good. Yeah, don't forget about enjoying the journey, because it was a big one. That is a big one.
Yeah, enjoy the process.
How can I improve my strength on squats? Everything else is progressing, squats aren't. Well, if everything else is progressing, this is, I think it's a girl. I can't see. Hang on. It's very small.
Is that Laura?
Yes.
She's a member of BCB. I saw she put this up on a story the other day.
Well, are your mechanics of your squat correct for starters?
Hers are, yeah. Her squat's decent.
If that's the case, then how often are you squatting? Again,
probably too frequently, if anything. So,
and do you have a protocol for actually improving strength on a movement rather than just improving the muscularity of your legs?
Yeah. So I'm not sure what her plan is. I know that she trains lower body very frequently, comparatively to her upper body, which if that's her prerogative, if that's what her targets are. I personally would have a slightly more leveled out split. I wouldn't be squatting more than 3 days a week. I'm not sure quite what she's doing. I'd probably say it's about that. Yeah. All of her other lifts have been moving well. Most of the time, you're pretty lucky if everything's going all at the same time. Oh, yeah. Like sometimes you'll be like, oh yeah, my deadlifts and my RDLs are moving really well, and my hip thrusts are moving well, but my squat's not. And then other times your squat's going well and your hip thrusts are, but your RDLs are not. Like having everything flying at once. Again, that's the reality. The longer you train, the less likely you are to have that happen. Based on just kind of working around, a real easy way to get progression with a lift is to move to a very close variation. So what I might recommend for Laura would be like a pause squat. Just restart her, whatever her training cycle is, reset her numbers, and then start doing some pause squats. So do a 2-count pause at the bottom, or even a tempo squat, or maybe a pin squat, other variations that are very similar to the normal movement, because you're going to get those neurological adaptations. Again, it's a fresh movement for you. Yeah. So you get this new little burst of progression, and you'll probably find by some of these variations, like a 2-second pause squat, when you have been running that pause variation for 12 weeks, you'll probably be very close to doing that same number you could do on your regular squat for a pause. And then when you go back to a regular squat, you might have a week where it feels a bit off because you're just readapting to a new movement, but all of a sudden you'll be hitting PBs again. Yeah. So it might just be that you've hit a bit of a...
I think as well, if you dial your squat in and you've got the mechanics down, it's a very hard movement to get anything new from over time. Mm-hmm. Unlike bench press, deadlift and stuff like that, where you can tweak an elbow position, you can lock in a bit, with a deadlift, you can roll elbows in a little harder. I don't think you have that same kind of variability with a squat motion. It's either fucking locked in or it's loose.
Yeah.
There's none of that kind of middle ground.
No.
Whereas there is a bit more middle ground with the other movements, which might be something that's happening. Like your other movements you might just be dialing them in slowly a bit better and better.
Yeah.
Whereas because you're squatting so much all the time, you're just fucking good at squatting, and you're in that point where you're at a plateau.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's
there's
it.
a lot to consider, but yeah,
And it's also riding a wave as well. Sometimes you will just plateau for a little bit.
yeah.
You just
But
got
the variation in movement is a great suggestion.
Yeah, and also maybe look at your bracing. I'm not sure what your bracing's like, and by that I mean like your intra-abdominal
Yeah, just
bracing.
investigate the movement as well. Are you feeling it in all the right places, or is it starting to cross over into other bits? Are you getting some compensation that's not seen through the mechanics, but you can feel it? You know, and if so, you need to reposition that load a little bit.
Yeah.
What would you say is the optimal rest period between sets, or how do you judge it? So we've already covered that one for you. Yeah. Best high protein foods. I don't have enough time for 3,000 calories a day. Well, I don't know why you're relating protein to calories, because that's a bizarre thing to do.
They're two separate things.
One is of the other, essentially.
Yeah.
Best high protein food. So you're trying to get if you want calories, eat fat. 9 calories per gram compared to 4 of protein and carbs.
Yeah. What are you trying to achieve?
If you want, so if your protein is around about 180 grams a day, you're crushing it.
And also, I don't have time for 3,000 calories. I can eat 3,000 calories in like half an hour.
3,000 calories is cutting weight. It's cutting calories.
Yeah.
So that is easy.
You could have a.
You're eating too
disgusting
many
pizza.
fucking salads, mate.
Yeah.
You need to simply. I would go a bit lower carb and go higher fat, and then you'll easily hit calories. It's not that hard, and your protein isn't your focus for calories.
Yeah.
Calories are an overall combination of protein, carbs, and fats. And if you don't understand that, you need to look up macros and macronutrients and understand that you can do a really simple split. You can do 40% protein, 40% carbs, 20% fats, or you can do 40% protein, 30% carbs, 30% fats, or what I actually like to do is 30% protein, 30% carbs, 40% fats, or it's even a bit higher on fats sometimes. And the carbs, I like to do 30% protein, around about 25%.
You're just saying numbers now.
35. This is what I do. As long as I've hit 180 grams of protein, I'm good. So whatever percentage hits 180 grams, then the rest of the percentage left over is put into carbs and fats. But my carbs will be around 25% of that calorie allowance, and then the rest is made up with fat. So I've had times where I've been 50% fat orientated because I've just not needed the carbs as much, and I will cycle my carbs. I cycle my carbs around my training as well as best I can when I'm in a flow. Around about 70% of my full daily intake of carbs will go in and around my training, and then the rest of the day is satiated with fats and protein. And I find that works really well, especially on a mental level and even mood level as well. How old were you when you first started working out, and what made you start? So I was always a kid that loved sport. And if I got moody, my mum used to send me out on bike rides, and I come back happy. So I was always very physically orientated. I think I was watching Bruce Lee and Stallone and Arnie, and I was like, well, how do you get like that? Gym. And that was probably around about 14. I started feeling that way, like that's how a bloke should look. And that's when I went to the running club gym, because we were allowed in under 16, because I remember the running club, so you could go in. And I used to buy a packet of Lucozade sweets every time, and I'd eat them in between sets, nom, 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 and I'd just do pec deck, sprinting, barbell shit, just in there. But I think 15, probably 14 or 15 was when I really started actually focusing on what training was. And then up until, I think uni was my peak moment though, where there was a gym available for very cheap. It was like £60 for £60 to £100 for the whole year, because you're obviously a student. And then it was just there every day, and it was on campus. So I'd go for my lecture.
Nice.
Everyone else would go to the fucking pub in the afternoon. I'd go to the gym and then meet them afterwards.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And I was the only guy that came back that I'm aware of from my time in my first year, when you and you all meet up from college and you all meet up after your first year of uni. They all came back like slightly fat, and I came back like looking more jacked. I was the only one. Everyone else just put weight on.
Class.
Bad weight.
Yeah, for me, 16 was when I started training consistently, because that's how old I needed to be to have a gym membership. I literally joined a gym on my 16th birthday.
I think I was consistently training by 16.
Yeah, I'd done bits, but again, it was like bodyweight stuff. But I remember the same, watching like Stallone films or watching Mortal Kombat and doing like press ups in the living room.
100%.
And like I boxed and I played rugby and I played basketball and I did all kinds of things as a kid. I just was.
So I never did any of the fighting stuff until I came back from uni.
Yeah,
that's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we both started around the same time, around about 15, 16. What's your favourite split, e.g. upper, lower, body part, push, pull, legs, etc.? So mine is the higher frequency style. I think I've loved that for so long now. I never get bored of it. And then I can add in, at the moment I'm not doing the phases, but I will when I'm back in my regiment, add in the phases of that volume, heavy, mind to muscle, loop back round. And then it just gets like, I never get bored of it. And every week's different. So even if I feel fucked from the heavy week, doesn't matter because the next week's contraction.
Yeah.
And I can go slow and steady, let myself recover. And the volume's just always fun because for me, it's like fighting.
Yeah.
So I'll like rip through those sets strictly, but then only 30 seconds rest and fucking go. I love that. I love having to pick the weight up when I'm still hurting from the last set.
Yeah.
Because again, it's safe because it's a volume set. I'm not picking it up hurting from the last set, having to shift load. It's just volume.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, I'd probably say upper lower is overall, if I had to pick one, my favourite. So that'd be 4 days a week, 2
It's
uppers, 2
simplistic.
lowers. Yeah, spread nice and evenly throughout the week. And again, how my actual periodization would work. A lot of the time, I work in phases of RPE. So I would have a week at RPE 7, or sometimes I'd have a week at RPE 6, a week at RPE 7, a week at RPE 8, a week at
Do you not
RPE
feel
9.
like kind of too much in the tank on RPE 6?
Yeah, but that's that's normally if I'm a bit deconditioned to training.
Yeah.
So then I would come in. So that is a very light, easy week deliberately. RPE 7 is when you actually start feeling that you're
You
working.
get something from that week though.
You still do,
Or
yeah.
are you left with a nagging feeling?
I still get something 100%. What it does is basically allows me to smoothly transition into week 7 without carrying loads of DOMs.
That's true. Do you know what I would do in that RPE 6? I'd add in boxing. You know,
Yeah,
at
you
the
could.
end, something at the end that exhausted me,
Yeah.
but it wasn't going to give me like crazy DOMs or anything.
Yeah, for me, for the most part, though, that'd only be if I'm completely deconditioned to that type of training. If I was
You
restarting a
wouldn't
block.
often do an RPE 6.
So no, it would be like an RPE normally, and if everything was rolling, week 1 would be RPE 7, RPE 8, RPE 9, which by that point you're carrying a fair amount of fatigue. So
Yeah,
I would
I bet,
deload on the 4th week and then back to RPE 7.
So it's a similar thing. Your
Yeah,
phases.
so it just ramps. Yeah, and
go.
yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how
I think
I
that's
like it.
enough information for you guys for 1 week.
How long have we got time-wise?
Yeah, we're probably about 120, so we're about good to stop.
Okay.
I think we're going to try and dial these fuckers in.
Yeah.
Until we have guests, and then we'll just drink whiskey and have fun.
Yeah.
But we might make those into 2-parters.
Yeah, I think.
So I think
to work
let us
it
know
as
actually.
2
Let us
parts.
know if we do. What would you rather? Would you rather have like a 90-minute podcast, or would you rather we do 2 hours but split it into 2 parts? So you'd have 2 1-hour podcasts, and then we could release them. Or then would you want them released on the same day as 2 parts, or would you want one part on a Monday and the next part on like a Thursday?
Yeah, because I have seen a few comments and a few people have mentioned to me in person that they fell behind on the CREWCast just because they
It
get
is
so
a lot
long.
of time to adhere to something, and I do. I fall behind on Joe Rogan's and stuff like that, and I pick and choose which ones I'm going to listen to because there's no way I can listen to each one every day because they're too long.
Yeah, it's not that short form kind of. No one minds clicking a 10-minute video, but how many people are going to want to listen to us for 2 hours?
True.
Like you've got to dedicate a fair chunk of time to that. haven't you?
Yeah.
So-
So let us know. Let us know your thoughts, and obviously this is all a learning curve for us as well. So we're just enjoying the process, as you should be doing with your training. So there we go. Hope you've all had a bit of enjoyment from this. Made some notes. You can always go back and you can always ask us questions. Make sure to rate us as well if you're on whatever platform. If you can leave us a review or a comment or rate us, then please do. It always does help.
Yes, it does. Helps us massively.
And that's it. Cheers for coming in, boy. Midweek, I know it's different because you've got to shoot back home. So
Yeah, I know. I'm going
Appreciate
to Scotland on Saturday. I'm going to go and see the pups. So they're 6 weeks old. So this is where we pick the pup.
yeah,
Peter Popper picked a pup.
Papa,
pickled
big pup. So
Peter Poppers.
we'll talk about that one next week. So that'd be fun.
Yeah, buddy.
That's it. So until then, if you've had a good week, bring forward what was good, leave behind what was bad, and make your own fucking energy. Have a great week, people. We'll catch you in the next one.
Doodle pip.
Toodle pip.